one in the league knew the truth.
I did.
I shouldn't be surprised, since you indoctrinated Robin into crime.
More than any other criticism of Batman, I think this one comes up a lot. And besides the hypocrisy from Wonder Woman, I mean, you know, Wonder Girl's a thing. Donna Troy before, and granted, I know there's circumstances for that, but to me, the Robin stuff, it's very myopic how people look at it. And I think if you actually look at the stories, it's very easy to understand why each of these Robins were made Robins. And I'm just going to go into the main Robins and Cassandra Cain. The first time this happened was with Dick Grayson, who obviously eventually becomes Nightwing, but was the first of the Robins. And people look at this and say, hey, that's probably a very unhealthy relationship, right? I mean, child soldiers, all the jokes that people always tell. But when you consider this is Gotham, right? And what does Gotham do better than any other city in comic books? It turns people into villains. So when the mobsters killed his parents, not only killing them, but in such a way that the storyline made it feel like to Dick, it was his fault. He didn't speak up about it. That left the kid boiling with rage who had immense talent at his fingertips. Gotham is just waiting for a person like this to just envelop and create a villain out of. But through Batman's guidance, not only did he not become a villain, but he didn't become Batman either. Dick is very different than Bruce, and that was purposeful. If we go to Jason Todd, it's a bit of a different circumstance. At this point, Batman didn't even want another Robin. When he caught Jason stealing the tires off of the Batmobile, he actually took him to a group home to get help. But Todd was born into crime. He had been living on the streets as a criminal up to this point. And then even inside of the group home, found himself being enveloped by the criminal society of Gotham. Ultimately, Batman taking him under his wing actually did make him go down a better path, because when he caught up to Two-Face, he could have killed him. He chose not to. And I would hasten to add that all of the good decisions that you see Jason make along his journey come from Bruce, and probably Alfred. Tim Drake is a different animal altogether, and it's an interesting story. He was actually a fan of the Flying Graysons. He actually was a fan of Dick Grayson, and I believe got his autograph early on. When he saw Robin fighting, he realized and put two and two together that this had to be Dick Grayson from the Flying Graysons. Nobody else could move like that. And then obviously deduced that then Batman must be Bruce Wayne. He became a fanatic fanboy, up until the point where he actually saved Bruce and Dick from a villain. Alfred is as responsible for this Robin as Bruce, and in fact, there was a rigorous time where Bruce just didn't even want to train him, and Alfred had to. It wasn't until he proved himself multiple times over, not only to be a persistent person who wasn't going to go away from this life, but able to overcome his inadequacies with martial arts and things like that to become a Robin, that Bruce even entertained the full idea of making him a Robin. I don't think that he would have become a villain, but I don't think that he would have survived Gotham without Bruce's training. Damian's an easy slam dunk because you remove Bruce Wayne from Damian and he's an Al Ghul. He is a villain. He is a heir to the throne of the League of Shadows. Literally, the other Robins and Bruce Wayne are the only reason why he's not a villain. And then I know she's not a Robin, but she kind of fills the same roles. And altogether, probably more important for her to have Batman in her life is he and the symbol, more importantly, give her direction. What do you do when you're literally, in my opinion, the top tier of martial arts in DC, and you have all this skill pointed towards killing and no direction? You end up in Gotham. That's just a bad place and a bad future for Cassandra Cain. But with the guidance of Bruce and the symbol and the justice-seeking nature of the bat symbol, it gave her a purpose to follow. Look, I know there's a Barbara Gordon angle and a Batwoman angle and a Signal angle and all kinds of other people, but to the point of Robins and bringing on child soldiers and all these things and criticisms that Batman gets, is it a perfect story? No, probably not. But there are very good reasons why each one of these people ended up being put under the wing of Bruce Wayne. So Wonder Woman can get off of her high horse because, I mean, Bruce isn't perfect, but he has pretty good reasons. Hope everybody's well. See you around.